Yes, 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 yes. We are back. We are back. We are back in full effect. What's going on, y'all? Yes, we got another one. Y'all love the consistency, don't y'all? Y'all just love the consistency. Yeah, we might be a little bit late, moving on CP time, but you know what? We're here. Okay, we're not gonna let you guys down, and I really appreciate every last one of y'all for coming in the chat. I really appreciate that. Make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel, okay? Because YouTube is literally purging people off of the platform, and I think it's a, I think it's a political agenda. I think they're kind of targeting certain people, talking about certain things, that goes against a certain kind of agenda. But let's just be mindful of that. What's up, man? Okay, let me do a little housekeeping, little maintenance here, and shout out the chat. Who we got in the house? We got Andre Rose. Sheesh. We got Miss Barbara. How you doing, Miss Barbara? What's wrong with Andre? What's wrong, Andre? I don't know. We're gonna find out what's wrong with him. Marlene. What's up, Miss Marlene? Always good to have you. Barbara again. Hello, Marlene. Okay. Let's see. Marlene, I'm here to support as you requested. Can we try not to get Dez too worked up tonight? You know what? Dez is totally in charge.
Nope. Y'all want me to start early?
Oh my God! See, Marlene, you don't want us to get her worked up, but you're getting her worked up.
She
But
like it.
Des,
That's
Des,
what she wants. So
mm,
I'm here to serve.
she's okay. Well, there you go. Marlene, is my opinion that it's my opinion that in these times, no matter what the skin color of the youth are today, are hateful towards authority and do not take accountability for their actions. We will get into that. Neil Glover, black late. Yeah, we black late. CP time. We black. You know how that go. Barbara. Okay, guys, listen. I'm just reading through these because I know this is we're still in the beginning of the live, but as we proceed, I may not be attentive to every single chat, but I'm gonna knock these out. Barbara, I agree, Marlene, but with what we are shown on the news, there's just not much to be respectful of anymore. Interesting. Barbara, can we not allow outside influences to guide the direction of our children? Good point. Good point. Marlene, we all know that social media is owned by the elite and they control the narrative of what we do and do not hear in order to control the masses for their own agenda. True, Barbara. That's absolutely true. Growing up, I had to respect everyone in authority. Come to find out, they had done nothing to earn my respect. Damn. Golly, Barbara. Really? That sounds like trauma, darling. Um, Tony, right. Rook, get it together. Leave me alone, Tone. Leave me alone. Marlene. Okay, everybody, we got some emojis. We got your boy Lee in the building. Yeah, baby. Gotta show respect to Lee. They be hating on you, Lee, but it's all good, man. Tone on being like, okay, cool. All right. Everybody else that I didn't get to, I apologize, but we got to get this show on the road. Queen K, what's happening, Queen? Love you, darling. Chris Harris, skin color does not determine behavior. Interesting point, Chris. Interesting point. All right, cool. Positive energy and only. Well, we shall see. We shall see. You never know how this might go. Anyway, all right, guys. Go ahead for the newbies in the house. Des, start with you. Go ahead. Just brief introduction. Uh, uh, Jane, you go ahead and follow up, and then JP, and then we get this shit. Excuse me, we get this show on the road.
Hi, everybody. I'm dezidc. Find me on Instagram, dezidc. Facebook, Desiree AC. Flicking on my big YouTube.
Ooh, girl, go ahead, Jane.
Jane McMillan, founder of Men Are Not the Enemy. I believe in bridging the gap, y'all. Lately, though, it's been more so like separating the boy from the men. Like that's kind of sort of like where the platform is going. But TikTok, you can find me at She Is Jane. And then, of course, IG, YouTube, all the other handles are Men Are Not the Enemy.
Ooh, go ahead, Miss Jane. Go ahead. Go ahead now. All right. And last, JP.
JP, FWM podcast, Find me at FWM_podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Fight with me.
All right. Y'all heard him. Hey, JP, you drop anything recently?
Last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
Go check out my boy JP. You on all what do you said Spotify? What are the other platforms you on?
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast. Shout out to Andre, man. He started following me, man. So good looking, my
See
brother.
there? see there, man. And y'all had a like a mild disagreement in the last live, but look at that. You gained a brother. That's what it's all about, y'all.
And I'm gonna give you props when props is due, though. You know,
each one teach one, man. Each one teach one.
I appreciate you, bro.
That's what it's all about. You see that, Miss Jane? Marlene said, "Glad to see you back, Miss Jane. You got a little love up in here."
I threw the heart up. That was for you, Marlene. Thank you.
And this is for both of y'all. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing. let's get it cracking, dacking. So listen, before we get started, I guess I'll just preface it by saying this. First and foremost, this video, this clip that I'm about to play, it's 38 minutes long. I'm probably not gonna play all that. Probably gonna skip to the part where that's relevant. But nonetheless, this topic tonight was inspired by my boy Lee. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Lee, sending this over and for us to talk about it. Hopefully we can, not necessarily reach some consensus, but at least be able to share our perspectives on this issue and hopefully edify this issue as a whole for those who share our reflection. But I think it's very imperative that we talk about this topic because we have a generation that's gonna grow, that's coming up after us, and they need to understand from us, from their forebears, where we stand on the matter. And again, regardless of our situation, our circumstances, we are the ones that can determine the track of the future and the course of the future by what we say and what we do today. So there you go. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with this. I did not see this video until today. Apparently, it's already been in circulation for a few months now. You said a year?
Happened in 2022.
Oh, wow. Damn, I'm late. My B. Guys, everybody in the chat, make sure y'all are subscribed. Hit the subscribe button right now because, like I said, when I got back up on here, I saw that I lost a few subscribers. I'm like, man, I know I'm telling the truth here, but can't be losing subscribers like that. Hold on. All right, can y'all hear that?
Did you know there's a simple
here we
activity?
Go. All right, y'all can hear that though, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna expand this for everybody's.
I can't hear it. It's something.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Okay.
Well, I see the Ohio time. I'm not sure if y'all from here or not, but you can't be inside the park in the city of Atlanta between the hours 11 p.m. 6 a.m.
Okay.
You got your IDs on you? You have your IDs on you?
Yes.
Let me need them. You have your ID now? All right, just stand by. I'll be right back with you. All right, sir, like I explained to you, you can't be in the park at night. You're just going to receive a simple ticket stating that you was in the park after hours. All right, leave the sign right on the exit.
Where am I signing over? Is it a charge or anything, or
It's just a ticket?
And I have to sign it?
You can not sign it and go to jail. It's this one here. This one here. Yes, sir. All right, that's all right. Copy of citation. You have any questions? That's what it is. Right. Come over here for me, ma'am. Can you come here, ma'am? All right, so you're going to receive a ticket for being in the park after hours. All right? Just need to sign right here on the X.
But because we're out of, didn't you say we were out of time so we wouldn't have known that?
Yeah, but that's not a valid reason why you should be in the park because you're from out of town.
And what's your badge number?
7452.
And what's your name?
Officer Brooks.
What's your first name?
I'm not going to give you my first name.
Okay, and I don't have to sign this, right?
You do have to sign it.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, like I explained to him, if you don't sign it, then you're going to be physically taken to jail.
Gotcha.
So you're refusing to sign?
What's your name?
Officer Brooks, 7452.
What's the badge number?
I gave it to you 2 times, man.
Okay, I'm asking again.
And I'm not giving it to you.
Okay.
Sign it?
No, because I want your badge number.
That's fine.
If you have an hour this week,
Great.
you can learn 100 songs
Sorry,
on the piano by learning just
Hold
4
up.
chords.
We got like another minute or so into the good part.
You want to put your hands behind your back for me? No, she got. Hey, listen, my man. She said she's not signing it. Put your hands behind your back.
Sir,
Ma'am.
you're hurting me.
Okay. I'm asking you to put your hands behind your back.
Sir.
Put your hands behind your back.
Sir.
Ma'am, put your hand behind your back.
Can you?
I need you to back up.
I'm just saying, like,
I need you to back up.
You don't need to touch her like that.
She's not putting her hands behind her back.
I'm asking a
She was
question.
asking for the-
Okay.
I'm just all I'm doing is
Put your
asking.
hands behind your back. Put your hands behind
Mr.
your back. You're
Brooks.
under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. I asked you to sign the ticket. You told me you're not signing it.
Sir,
Put your hands
I'm
behind your back.
asking you a question.
I'm letting you know. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to forcibly put your hands behind your back.
But, sir, Mr. Brooks, is this really necessary? Mr. Brooks.
Hold on.
Hey, listen, my
She
man.
needs,
Back up.
she needs to put her. Let her
Can I-
put her phone. Let her
Okay, you can put your phone down.
Okay,
Let her
Mr.
put- she's
Brooks.
not giving her a chance to-
Oh
Come
my
on, sir.
God.
Hold on.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not saying that I'm refusing to sign the ticket. I'm going to
No.
sign the ticket.
You don't have an option now.
Because but I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I'm going to sign the ticket. I'm going to sign the ticket.
No, I'm not here to play games with you.
I know, but I'm going to sign.
Put your hands behind your back.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to sign it. Why am I
You're acting resistant.
I'm asking you, why am I putting my hands behind my back?
You're under arrest.
I'm going to sign the ticket, but why am I under arrest? Why am I under arrest? I'm going to sign the ticket. I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks.
That's all it is.
I'm going to sign the ticket.
I asked you to sign the ticket. You told me you're not signing
I'm
it.
going to sign the ticket now, Mr. Brooks. I'm going
You
to
don't
sign
have
the
that
ticket.
option now.
Why don't I have the option,
Because I
Mr.
gave you
Brooks?
2 options.
She was asking for your badge number.
I'm asking for your badge number, and I wasn't clear on why you weren't giving me your badge number.
Sir, you cannot have to hold her like that.
Oh my God, sir, Mr. Brooks, I'm telling you that I'm going to sign the
Put your
ticket.
hands behind your back.
I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I'm going to sign the ticket. Why am I being arrested? Can you please tell me why I'm being arrested? Oh my God! I'm so scared. My God, please, in the name of Jesus, please, God, in the name. Why am I being arrested, Mr. Brooks? I'm going to sign the ticket. Mr. Brooks, why am I being arrested? Why am I being arrested? I don't understand why I'm being arrested. Can you please tell me why I'm being arrested?
Turn around and put your hands behind your
You tell
back.
me why I'm being arrested. I have the right. I have the right to know.
Be changed.
Oh my God.
Put your hands behind your back. And stop resisting. Stop resisting.
What are you taking her for?
I didn't take it.
Why are you pulling it out?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Come on, sir. This is unnecessary. What are you doing? This is over. This over.
Why am I being arrested?
Just put your hands behind your back.
I don't understand why I'm being arrested. That's why I'm not putting my hands behind my back. You have not given me a reason. So why am I getting? I'm not. You haven't told me my rights or told me why I'm being arrested. That's exactly why I'm not putting my hands behind my back. God, please. Oh my God!
Yeah, give me your hands. You got everything
Oh my God! I don't understand why I'm not being arrested. I don't understand. Please, sir, you have not told me why I'm being arrested, and that's why I have not put my hands behind my back. You have not told me.
Stop this.
Anything, and you're steady doing this to me. I don't understand. Can you please just tell me why I'm being arrested? That's all I'm asking.
I just told you.
Why? Why
You
am I
refused to sign the
I
ticket.
did not. I told you I was going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I told you I was going to sign the ticket. Can I please sign the ticket?
Put your hands behind your back.
I don't understand.
Put your hands behind your back,
I'm
man.
telling you, I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I will sign the ticket, please.
Ma'am, put your hands behind your back.
Why you? I don't understand.
Put your hands behind your
How
back.
you handling me?
Put your hands behind your back.
Please, God, please.
Put your hands behind your back.
You're hurting me. You are hurting me.
Okay, put your hands behind your back.
I told you I'm not putting my hands. You have not told me or read me my rights. You have not done any of that. You're not telling me why I'm going to jail. Please, God.
Put your hands behind your back.
Please, God. Please. Mr. Brooks, tell me why I'm being arrested. Ow. Ow. You're hurting me. You are hurting me.
Stop resisting. Come
I'm
on.
trying to tell you for what? Out! You are, Mr. Brooks, you are hurting my arm!
Come on.
Oh my God! Is this real? Please, God, in the name of Jesus. Please, God, I'm not being arrested.
Y'all hurting me. Sit and don't not move.
Oh my God!
Code 4063.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
That was unnecessary.
Oh my God!
You can record from over here.
Oh my God!
What's your name,
Oh
officer?
my God!
What's your name, sir? Officer Taylor.
Ooh, man, that's loud. All right.
Oh my God!
I think we got the gist. So ultimately, she gets arrested. Damn, we do 10 minutes up in that bad boy. All right, let me pull this down. Tony Brown. Okay. Oh man, I see the chat is just like, woo! Y'all are fired up by this one. All right, so Miss Desi Dez, we're gonna let you start.
I'm not going first. I'm not
Okay,
going
then,
first.
Mr. JP, we'll let you start, and then Jane, you follow up. Des, you're next, and then I'll go last. Go ahead, JP. Kick it off, brother.
Man, she childish as hell.
Oh snap! Uh-oh.
Man, she childish as hell, man. I'm talking about all with that antics. Man, listen, that's one thing that again, I'm equal accountability on circumstances, bro. And the man just told you to sign a ticket. Sign a ticket. You can't hold court on the streets. And I seen a couple of the chats while it was going. But the thing about it is, man, first and foremost, they started off the video side. You knew they was some bullshit. They out in the park listening to Wild Side. You already know what type of time they on. You hear the music that they playing, first and foremost. You in the park at night, y'all grown as hell in the park, cuddled up, standing up. You not from there. So when the police pull up on you, tell you can't be there, right? All right, he give you the ticket. The first thing about it is the guy walked over there and looked at him and said, hey, if you ain't gonna sign it till you go to jail. Obviously, they not together. Obviously, she must be some flip to him or something, because that's not his girl. Because if she would not have seen, if she see how he acted, that should have been her to follow his lead and say, all right, bro, just take the ticket. He ain't even want to open up his mouth. When she went to talk, when she went to go on and rambling and yabbling, he should have just put his hand on, hey, sign a ticket, hey, and stop all that. And he could have stopped that, but she would have kept going on and on and on, and asking, what's your badge number? What did I do? That man told you 20 times, sign the ticket, sign the ticket. She didn't want to do it. As soon as he put the thing down, that's what sometimes women think, okay, now when you get serious, psych, I'm just playing. No, it's time to get slammed. And she lucky he ain't taser. He was supposed as and that's a big old girl, dog. And he's sitting there touching it with her. That's a big one, boy. He's supposed to tase her. Man, listen here. I ain't
that big, JP.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Listen, and I get slammed all the time on here about women is nah, bro. That time, but that was wrong, boy. Nah.
All right. Go ahead, Miss Jane. Good. You follow up.
So I'm okay. So I'm not going to speak on like the law side of this thing. I'm just going to speak on what I generally see is wrong with the actual situation. I'm keeping the law out of it, right? So I have to say that she calls that on herself. That was very scary for me to watch, because I know, first of all, yes, she asked for the badge number. He gave it to her at least twice. I don't know how many times after that. He gave her the badge number and all of that. The officer said, put your hands behind your back. She's asking for what? I mean, it's obvious the only conversation that was had was a reference to her not signing the ticket. So why are you saying like for what? Like that could be the only other thing is you didn't sign the ticket. And then he warned you, if you don't sign the ticket, you're going to jail. Now, somebody already said it in the comments. I would have signed it and asked questions later. I would have took it to court later. I went to school for criminal justice. To me, it's unnecessary. And then she better be lucky she didn't get shot. I was thinking she was gonna lose her life, because when you don't comply and then she's on the ground at this point, he's still trying to force your arms. You still turning over, trying to ask him for what? Like he already told you for what. I feel like she brought that on herself. I do.
Interesting. All right, Miss Des, what you think?
Neil, can you go first, please?
Okay.
I just want to get.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll go before you.
Please. And
so,
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. This is pretty open and shut case here. She didn't comply. So lock her up, throw away the key. That's how I look at it. Lock her ass up, throw away the key. Look, if you're gonna forego a simple ticket to exacerbate the situation to where you're going to fight and argue with the police, that is the authority, people. Listen to what the police says. They may be wrong, but that is not where your battle begins. Your battle with the police officer is in court, okay? That's where you take up any sort of grievance you have with that in regards to that interaction with the police. If you have a bad interaction with cops, you take it to court and where you fight it, okay? You don't do that in the scene. They will win every time. And unfortunately, a lot of the cases, this could have potentially resulted, like you said, Jane, in a death. This woman could have lost her life because these police officers have full jurisdiction to escalate things if the person that they're dealing with proceeds to become belligerent, uncooperative. They have tactical training to respond to these situations accordingly. So if you're not,
that was a black man, he wasn't
that doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna overlook that.
Like that though. That black man wasn't gonna do it like that.
Exactly. He extended so much grace, has so much patience with her, so much patience with her. But that didn't matter. You know, she wanted to be combative. She didn't want to cooperate. Okay, well, let's lock your ass up then. How about that? All right, that's my piece.
Those are the ones that you say that's not the enemy. That black man showed.
You know what's so crazy? This situation is the epitome. This situation is the epitome, and as well as the catalyst as to why you see a lot of these retarded black people out here marching for social justice and no justice, no peace. While you got all these retards out here marching because of situations like this, they don't want to examine it, the interaction itself. You know what I'm saying? They want to emotionally react to the situation as opposed to looking at what actually took place. This right here is epitomizes why these people are out here marching, because they got this crazy notion that police officers are out here mowing and killing black people willy-nilly, when that's not the case. Actually, if you want to be honest, according to the stats, which I know quite a few, well, just a couple people don't believe in stats, but I gotta always refer to the stats. According to the stats, wait, hold on, where is it at? Oh, here it is. Only 4% of black homicide victims are killed by cops. Only 4%, guys. 85%, which this is the taboo right here. What I'm about to say, this is taboo to say this, but 86%. Well, excuse me. Where is it at? 94% of victims are killed by other blacks. 90% of black victims are killed by other blacks. But we want to hone in on that small little 4% and exacerbate that issue and just amplify that as if that's as if that is a more pressing issue. But anyway, that's my piece.
Neil, where did you get those stats from?
Justice Bureau Department of Statistics.
Okay.
The Federal Bureau, excuse me, Federal Bureau of Justice Department Statistics. Anyone can look that up too.
The floor is yours, my love.
Look at this motherfucker right here. Hold on, let me give him some real quick.
Don't give him that. You should have given him the applause.
Stop.
So I feel two ways. I feel two ways about this. Every action has a reaction, right? I think there are a lot of now what I will say from a legal standpoint, she was completely wrong. From a legal standpoint. The objective should always be to go home, right? So legally, she was wrong. They were on trespassing, which, if I'm not mistaken, in Atlanta is a what do they call it? Not a federal offense, but it's a
misdemeanor. Misdemeanor.
I forget the term to how you say it. However, I think Abe was literally reading my mind with his first comment. So Abe, I want to shout out to you, because this, to me, in my opinion, just from what I observed, this was very much an ego-driven situation that was completely unnecessary. This is why I don't feel that 98% of men should have power, for reasons like this. And I'm going to tell you why. This was a very much ego-driven situation. I looked up the laws in Atlanta. For a ticket or a citation, you don't technically have to sign it. If you don't sign it, the police officer has the option to arrest you or
Discretion.
The police officer has the right to either do it or he doesn't have to. It depends on the officer. So with that being said, from a legal standpoint, yes, she was wrong. They were both wrong. However, again, this is why people men should not be in position of power. Because
oh my goodness, really, Dad?
Yes,
Oh my
because
gosh.
again, this was very much.
You got to be trolling right now. You trolling right now?
No, this was very much, in my opinion. I just now listen to me when I say from a legal standpoint, yes. However, the police officer in this case was very much ego driven in this situation because it was completely unnecessary. It was unnecessary. One, you know these people out of town. And at the end of the day, you could have sat in your police cruiser until they left the damn park. You both would have went home fine. You both would have went home fine. But this is the problem. Men are so ego driven that you would sit and instead of allowing a black man and a black woman who you clearly see aren't doing anything wrong. If they were sitting there doing drugs.
Wait a second. He approached them because they were in the park after the closing hours.
And I said,
that's wrong, Des.
From a legal standpoint, they were wrong. I said that.
You said they were clearly not doing anything wrong. They were absolutely doing something wrong.
Neil, you telling me that her and him standing there minding their business, not doing nothing to nobody.
Minding their business? You mean like trespassing when the park is closed?
Neil,
what do you mean? You can mind your business.
See,
you can mind your.
This is the thing. This is the thing. There are certain situations, and pick your battles wisely. I'm not saying her being in that particular park was right. Legally, it's not. But again, like they say, pick your battles. Was it really that necessary? Was it really that necessary?
But if the guy would have approached him in that same manner, he would have got the same treatment. So, but she was the one who wanted to man up and do that, and that's
listen. He's a weak man. That's not her fault. He's a weak man. She asked questions.
Oh my goodness.
She asked questions that she could have gotten the answers to. Now y'all can sit and say, "Oh yeah." She asked, you saw her go to it. Now, again, I'm not giving her a pass by any means because she was wrong.
Like it.
She was wrong. But to some degree, it's like, dog, you don't got nothing else better to do. You could have literally just told
He's doing his job.
He is doing his job, but
trolling.
He had the option to say, hey.
No, he had the discretion, Des. Discretion. Officers can exercise that discretion. So whenever they fit, so choose, they have discretion to exercise.
They do have discretion.
Not only that, outsiders do get treated differently. Because of ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Okay, listen. If the police would have walked up on them, if the police would have walked up on them with their pants down, literally smashing on each other, I could understand that. Indecent exposure. It could be kids walking. I get that. Both of them standing next to the car talking. Now, like I said, let's just get out of the legal realm for 1 second. And the only reason I want to get out of the legal realm is because how many times do we see police officers, doing their job, stopping people for much bigger and letting them go? Discretion is still present. But again,
not to mention, he pulled up.
She playing. She can't believe what she's saying. I'm telling you right now.
We also not even stating the fact that 9 times out of 10, too, not them just being out there. they were called because of a noise disturbance. When they opened up the door, the music got even louder. So
Andre, don't start with me. Don't start with me.
So you already know that is.
I didn't. Okay, so this is the thing too. I didn't hear him say anything about a music disturbance. He never mentioned anything.
But the probable cause for them coming out.
Probable cause.
And that's fine. But again, that was not stated. When she asked what they were getting a ticket for, he said, because you can't, first of all, he said you all can't be in the park. He went to his cruiser, he came back and gave them a ticket. So from this point to this point, okay, again, legally, I understand. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, dog, police officers pull people over for crimes every day. I don't care how big or how small. I don't care how big or how small. Police do this all the time, all day. And you're going to sit here and tell me that as you were not at all ego-driven, because you literally could have gave these people a warning.
Regardless if that officer was ego-driven or not, it is your job.
That's the problem.
It is your job as a citizen.
Get out of your ego.
Listen. Des, we experience ego-driven people every day in our lives, in our daily lives, work, school. That doesn't justify you not acting accordingly and conducting yourself in a reasonable fashion. If you are being confronted by law enforcement, you should know to comply with whatever order or command they give you, if it's lawful, of course. However, your battle should be in the courtroom. That's an easy win. If the officer acted outside of his jurisdiction, you fight that battle in the courtroom.
That's why I said, from a legal standpoint, I get it. You're right. That's what you want to hear. You're right. Yes. But again, it starts from ego.
Oh my goodness!
You being in your ego created
you're just absolving her of all the kind of. Okay, Jane, let me hear what you have to say.
I'm not.
Go ahead, Jane. Go ahead, Jane. Let me hear what. Let me hear what Jane says, because I know you didn't heard what we said. Now you heard Des. Go ahead, Jane.
From a legal standpoint, again, if that's the case, police officers need to be doing a better job.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what?
Doing a better job, because again, why do you think? Because if that's the case, every time you get pulled over, do the police give you a ticket or tell you if you don't sign it, you got to get arrested? You're talking about discretion.
No, because I conduct myself respectably. I would conduct myself respectably.
Again,
and I think that has some bearing. I think that has some bearing on the outcome of the situation, depending on how you.
But listen, it starts
depending on how you conduct yourself. Will determine.
So ego-driven, all of them could have went home. If he wasn't so ego-driven, I'm going outside of the legal system at this point.
Des, what if the ticket was only $20? What if that ticket was a $20 fine?
The problem is, it's like if somebody intentionally does something to get under your skin and you blow up and everybody is like, well, why did you get so upset about it? Well, why did you? I mean, I know what they were doing, but did you have to blow up? Was it that? It's the same thing. And my thing is, this is why certain people don't know how to be in authority, because every situation don't warrant you doing this. Every situation don't warrant that as a police officer. And again, you're supposed to protect and serve. Yes, they were legally breaking the law.
Look at the comment on the screen, though, Des. Folks forget that police officers are human with human thoughts and feelings. They're human beings as well. Okay, what that do with it? That was. Oh, really? So you mean to tell me that in their capacity, hold up. In their capacity, although they are supposed to exercise sound judgment, that there is no room for error. There are bad apples in practically every profession. So if you encounter that officer who wants to be a smug dick or asshole, you conduct yourself reasonably, and then you take that fight to court.
But the thing about it is, you've been having this argument the whole time. But then when you read that comment out, you just justified her comment of saying everybody's been mad at her saying the go-to was ego driven. You just co-signed his
I granted her that premise that even if let's say JP, I granted her the premise.
You had this whole argument the whole time.
She wasn't understanding the legality, so I granted her the premise. I granted her the premise of her argument.
You jerked the wheel.
No, I did not. JP, I granted her the premise.
You had it the whole time.
Listen,
you and your daddy.
This is the thing. Again, it was at the police officer's discretion. As you said, I'm going to say this for the last time. Legally, yes, by law, she was trespassing and so was he. Yes. However, again, at your discretion, you know what those two in that moment were doing was not that bad, or it was not so harsh that it warranted you sticking your chest out. And he read that guy. Men know men. If I've learned anything about a man, men know men.
God, Jane, don't sit there quiet, Jane. Say something. Say something. What's your thought?
I'm waiting. I'm listening.
Mrs. Man and not the enemy. She's saying men is the enemy, Jane. What you got to say about that, Mrs. Advocate?
In this particular case, my thing is, legally she was wrong, but at the end of the day, it's not no different than any other police officer doing their job and at their discretion allowing somebody to leave knowing the situation.
You act like it's supposed to be. You act like they're obligated to just let people go every time. Like, what the hell?
Obligated to, but again, you just created an unnecessary situation because of your ego. It's not like they were running around the park ransom. They weren't doing drugs. Yeah, they might have been.
Okay, so take this $20 fine and get out the park. Bye.
$20.
You don't know. It was a small infraction.
At the end of the day, she was wrong legally. Yes, she was. But again, it wasn't that serious to have created that issue. I get what y'all saying in the comments. I don't really care what y'all be talking about because I'm gonna feel how I feel, which just like at your discretion, you're entitled to too. However, at the end of the day, the police officer had the discretion to let it go. It wasn't a situation where he did his job and he actually had the choice. It's all in choices. He had the choice. He could have. It wasn't a situation where he had to arrest them.
All right, let me hold up real quick, Jay. Before you jump in, JP, I got a couple people. Yeah, listen, everybody in the chat. I do see y'all. I am looking at y'all comments and I'm posting them on the screen. I don't know. I mean, y'all should be seeing them because I'm watching them. I'm watching this live.
We reading them. We can't respond to the comments and listen at the same time. We reading them.
Yeah,
we reading the comments.
Yeah. So guys, I'm looking at all y'all chats. All of y'all chats are in the chat, and I'm posting them as I get them. But if I miss some, I apologize. But I got a request to read this text on this chat, and I'm gonna read it. Her argument, which I assume this is directed to Des, is that they are or will always be held to a higher standard. They are paid by our taxes to protect and serve. Okay. All right, Nene, I read your comment, homegirl. Tony, yes, I am looking at the comments. Look at your comment. It's on the screen. I'm looking at your comment. All right. Don't think I'm just neglecting y'all. I'm reading them.
At what point is she supposed to stop and just be quiet? She asked all the questions. what's your badge number? She asked that. She asked your badge
She is
number
not
and
holding
your
her
name
accountable for
3
anything.
or 4
Neil,
times.
yes,
All I
I
want to
am.
know.
I
So
just said
hold on.
legally she was wrong.
Listen,
I
hold
did
on.
say that.
At what
How
point?
about
Have
like
any of y'all lived in Atlanta? Have any of y'all actually lived in Atlanta? Raise your hand if y'all lived in Atlanta. Anybody?
no, I haven't.
Nobody.
I have
Okay.
not lived in Sodom
JP.
and Gomorrah. No.
Okay, so I have lived in Atlanta. I just moved from Atlanta, and I'm gonna tell you something. Atlanta is
Ratchet.
HOT. Yeah, it's ratchet. It's hot, and I don't mean hot as in heat. I mean hot as in the block is hot. I mean everybody named mama doing something. I mean it's crazy in Atlanta. The first time I moved to it, not even I think it was like the second day. I was at a stoplight, and I was in the middle of a daggone motorcycle speed chase with this black dude. He cut in front of my car and was so unbalanced on his motorcycle, he had to put his hand on top of my hood. And then all these police getting out the car, running after the dude, and I mean, Atlanta is wild. Atlanta is like Grand Theft Auto on crack. Now, with that being said, first of all, I want to go back and say she could have lost her life. If that was the white officers, they wouldn't have been that nice. She's playing with her life. Like, I get it. Y'all, I'm not a pro-black advocate. I'm just pro-right. I don't care about the color. So don't ask me about no racism numbers because I don't know. But she could have lost her life. Even when she was on the ground, she's still trying to turn around. He kept saying, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. At what point do you say, okay? Then she wanted to say, oh, well, I'm going to sign the paper. And then I get what he's saying. Like, at this point, you had your choice. You had your point. You had your chance to pick what you wanted to do. You already picked what you wanted to do. I feel like, and then to mention with the music, how you gonna be trespassing and got your music so daggone loud? Like, at least if you trespassing, be quiet. Like, at least you can like turn why you gonna blast the music and then you got out of state tags, even if you got car insurance and your tags.
Basically they're making it hot for themselves. So they making it so they drawing the attention to themselves.
Ain't no person in their right mind that knows see, I've been a correction officer. I done been in the jails with the criminals. I know how they think. I know how they think that just because I'm black and I'm the black officer and then I'm a black woman officer, the men think that and the women think that they can bribe me. Oh girl, hey, what's up, girl? What's up, baby girl? No, I'm here to do my job. I'm here to do my job. So I mean, I get it because I'm not using my feelings. I'm more so on, girl, it wasn't that serious. You could have signed a paper, went on about your, and then for the person that said, and look at the dude just standing there, what did y'all expect him to do? All on his own? I can see if it was a mafia of people out there. I can see if it was like a party. I can see if it was a party. I can see if it was a kickback when it was a lot of people to back him up. But why would y'all want him to risk his life he don't even got no gun.
I ain't gonna do that.
This is what I'm gonna say to everybody in the chat, anybody that's watching this live. The next time you get pulled over by a cop, I don't care what the situation is, don't say shit about the ticket. Now, I know almost every goddamn body on this goddamn chat has been pulled over by the police, and the first thing you motherfuckers probably had said was damn. I'm almost willing. How many of you all have gone to or have even
nobody find it a pleasurable experience to get pulled over by the police. Nobody enjoys that.
What did you say, Dan?
Everybody is expecting to leave that motherfucker without having to pay a ticket, especially if it wasn't a serious situation. Again, this is the one fight that I have with this. You've gone to house parties. Who has not gone to a house party where the motherfucking police were called? Do the police come in there and just arrest everybody or even arrest the owners? No, majority of the time they don't. You know why? Because they are in that way understanding of the situation. They've been able to evaluate what's actually going on, and they don't say, oh, well, we had 4 neighbors call or whatever, we're going to send you to jail. They don't do that. They do use a sense of discernment. And again, I don't care if you are a police officer. At the end of the day, we have a lot of unlawful police officers who don't follow their jobs. Yeah, we got a lot of them that take their motherfucking jobs too seriously, depending on the situation. But again, this is not always just about legality. This is not always just about law. And again, a lot of these situations and scenarios have come about due to the ego of a police officer, not just black.
That's incredible.
But there have been instances that you get pulled over. The officer go and ask the driver for his license or registration, and then they go to the passenger side and say, "Can I get your license?" And as soon as that person go to chirping and chirping and chirping, I ain't got to show you my license. I ain't got to give you my license. I ain't got to
Escalated.
It escalate. It escalate. The same thing. Just give them your license. But most people who argue, this is the
Dad
thing.
said, hell no.
First of all, hold on, before we even go there, the girl initially, when the guy asked for her license, before the girl even gave the license, he said, y'all can't be in the park after hours. Both of them said okay. They could have easily got in their car and left. But no, because of the unnecessary ego of that police officer, not to mention it's another black dude right here. I'm about to show my sense of entitlement. So let me just, and again, my whole argument with this is the officer did not have to do what he did.
You're right. But this the thing though.
Did she have the right to escalate it though?
I'm not saying that she had the right to escalate it, but my thing is, look, you can't have a reaction. You can't have a reaction without an action.
What reality is, counties and cities, they make their money off of outsiders not knowing the law. They write tickets, speeding tickets, anybody who has an out-of-state tag on the interstate, on the highway, you are 90% sure to get a ticket when you pull up. Because why? They either want you to show up to court or they want you to pay the ticket. And not only that, for outsiders on spring break and for other things like that, they want you to get out of control so they can lock your ass up for the weekend.
And it's typically blacks that get out of control because they can't control themselves.
It's not no goddamn typically black. It's all
it is. It is. They're the ones out there marching.
Money.
They're the one out there marching.
About
money.
The
argument we're not gonna bring race into this.
Listen, I'm just telling you right now, they're the ones out here putting forth this narrative that police officers are mowing them down, killing them left and right.
If the girl was white, I guarantee you they would have got in the car and left. I bet you
they would have.
If they was white, they would have got in the car and left.
Okay, but check this out. When he brought it to their attention,
Atlanta, though, not in Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying. Hold up.
They would have been out of place if it was white people in Atlanta.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have been able to be in that park doing that. Like they would have probably been.
But they would. But that's just it. But again, my whole argument is that the officer was not in a position to where if he didn't do it, if he didn't arrest them, he would get in trouble, or even them. He had the right to say no. It started with him. He got the power. He got the authority at that point. So why would you waste it on doing something as let me not even say
who gives a damn, Des? That's their job. Who cares if they're who cares the way they
I don't want to hear I don't want to hear that's their job, because police officers don't do their job all the time. So that's not no argument, nor is it.
And in the case that they don't do their job correctly, what is it? Is it incumbent upon you as the citizen to conduct yourself in a reasonable fashion? Yes or no?
I'm not giving her a pass. I'm not giving her a pass for her attitude. But again, it's no different than why did she have the attitude? She had an attitude because he was very much ego driven when it was unnecessary.
But who stops? What outsiders decide to just stop and be like, you know what, babe?
We don't know. They could have been driving for a long period of time and wanted to rest their legs. They could have been hard. But if they had a hotel, you don't think they would have been there? But if they had a hotel, they on the road, they out of town. But that's just
not on the road. They're not on the road.
They are out of town. The fact that you can clearly see they not in no hotel room. They wasn't having sex. They wasn't doing drugs. And we didn't hear no music in the background. They were outside of
Yeah, we did. It was playing Rihanna, wasn't that?
I didn't even hear no music in the background.
Because when
it was very loud, Des. It was music. It was loud.
When he first pulled up the camera,
they were disturbing the peace.
They're in a park not doing nothing to nobody, bro. Like,
let me
see. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. The next time you all get pulled over, don't say shit about it. Don't complain.
Oh my God, stop it, Des. That's terrible.
People take shit seriously when it's take unnecessary shit seriously, and don't take serious shit and don't take. You know what I'm trying to say? Again,
I don't say shit.
At the end of the day, my thing is,
I don't say nothing either. Because the 9 times out of 10, I already know I'm doing the crime.
I mean, listen, that's what I said.
9 times out of 10, I already know I'm doing the crime. I don't have to say nothing. I already know I'm speeding. I already know my tags is expired. I already know my license is suspended. I already know.
And that might be the case. But my point is, again, at your job, because I'm living in reality. The reality is we don't always abide by the rules of our job. So let's stop acting like people. We sit here and go by the book. The reality is that a lot of us don't follow the rules when it comes to our job.
You know what, Des? I love you, Des.
But that's the point. That's where it
The
starts.
police are not our friends. The police are not our friends, Des. I can see if the police are our friends, but they're not our fucking friends.
But I'm not.
They're not our fucking friends.
Oh my God.
Thank you,
JP.
Attitude might have been wrong in that moment, but again, it's no different than when a police officer intentionally just tries to pick at you because they know they can.
Let me read. Hold up, real quick. Let me read this real quick because I think this is directed. This is a really good point. While her points remain valid, it is up to us as individuals to de-escalate the situation so it doesn't get to those points of high hostility. You don't agree with that, Des?
Hey, boy, your microphone sounds like your stomach growling.
No, that's I think that's Jane. She picking up some feedback. Jane,
my bad.
Yeah, you good?
Oh, that's her stomach growling there.
Go ahead. What do you think? What do you think about that, Des? So you don't think there's any accountability for the person?
Why do you keep? Are you not?
Because you need to pause. No, because you need to pause to understand the gravity that comes with that. No, but Des, you need to pause.
Go back to the comment that the young lady, Miss Addison. I'm reading her comment, and my thing is, I'm not saying that she should have been hostile. I'm not saying that. I completely agree.
But that's what it was.
But again, now had the girl, let me ask you this. Had the girl didn't get overly aggressive and just simply ask him, sir, can I'm just asking for your badge number again. I'm trying to jot it in my phone. If the girl didn't have the attitude, do you think the officer still would have arrested her?
No.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
He would have.
No, he wouldn't have.
You can't say that, Des. You don't know.
You know why I can? And I asked you all that for a reason. You know why? Because when he told them that they could not be in the park after hours, the girl clearly said, okay. The guy said, okay. And it could have been over.
Well, they weren't getting arrested. They were just going to get the ticket.
Thank you.
But it doesn't matter. The point is, The police officer literally had the power at that moment, to just leave the situation alone and go about, and they could have got in their car and went about their business. That man's ego allowed him to push the issue. Am I saying her attitude is justified? No, because you should want to get your ass home. You should have kept your damn mouth quiet.
No, you should have complied and just took the ticket.
So, well, okay.
That's simple.
No.
You know what, Daz? You know what? This is interesting because I wonder if you apply this logic to the whole George Floyd situation too.
Listen, I got my. That's a whole nother.
It's all related. It's all related to the theme.
No.
Listen, the tonight's discussion is about whether or not Black people hate or respect authority, and I think that's correlated to the situation.
I think we've earned the right to disrespect authority.
Oh my! There it is. Confirmation bias, y'all.
We have.
There it is.
Listen,
I knew something was in there.
If we continue as a people to allow the police to do what they do, guess what's going to happen? They're going to keep implementing and pushing laws that's going to further and further make it even more difficult for not just Black people, but all people. It's gonna be a situation.
So when George Floyd was high as a kite, had enough fentanyl in the system to kill a horse.
I don't know the situation about
well, I know you don't. Most Black people don't know the situation. They just comment, don't know the situation. No, you're right. In this situation right here, you actually know the. Hold up. In this particular situation right here, where we all just witnessed and we all watched the video together, you still want to absolve the responsibility of that woman to shut her mouth. No, because you would agree with everybody else on the panel. Everybody else, you would agree with everybody else.
Listen, you want to take your job seriously, that's fine. That's fine. But again, at the end of the day,
why wouldn't nobody?
Why these situations occur? I'm not, again, justifying that girl because she could have. But again, the situation also could have been very much over. But see, we give police this power and this authority to overstep boundaries that are unnecessary.
And also, well, you know what? They are the first line of defense between law and order and chaos.
First
what do you mean?
For who? Because it didn't seem like he was defending her or him. It seemed like he wanted to arrest them, knowing he wanted to arrest them. He wanted to give them.
You can't attribute. You cannot make that. You cannot make that assertion. You don't know that, Des.
I do know that because Neil, he literally had the option. He had the option. He wasn't in a position to where he had to arrest them. He wasn't. And that's the only argument that I have. He did not have to do that.
He wasn't trying to originally though, Dad.
Thank you, Jane.
He wasn't trying to, Dad. He wasn't trying to.
Yes, he was. Because when he told her him that you all couldn't be in the park, when both of them said, okay, yes, sir, it could have ended. It could have ended.
You're right, but for whatever reason, he decided to do that, and yes, I understand, and I understand that, Dad. I understand that. I'm not against you. I'm not against you.
You better be against her.
Men don't need to be in authority because they sensitive.
Oh my gosh! Oh, it's all rooted. It's all rooted. This is all rooted in her hatred towards men.
I had a conversation. This is what I'm gonna give you a private.
Women are too, though. Did y'all see the lady cop?
That's true. But again, this is
let's move on because we can't talk about women. But go ahead.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this real quick. I talked to JP a little bit earlier, right? There was a boy, there was a dude he works at one of the local radio stations here, and I got him on my Instagram. He made a post, and his post said, if ladies, it was directed towards the ladies. Ladies, if your dude is getting it from the back and you turn around and
What the?
he got his shirt like this. That's how it looked. And he got, if a dude is hitting you from the back, right? And you
That means she stinks.
and he got his shirt like this, what would your response be?
She stinks.
I made a comment.
Wait, what? I'm lost. What are y'all talking about?
Real quick. I'm gonna show you so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
You wait a second. How we go
And while
from?
she's doing that,
I'm telling, this is going towards my argument that this is why men are overly sensitive and they're egotistical and their
Oh my
actions
gosh.
allow.
Here we go. This is the source right here. This is the source of her animus. Go ahead, Jane.
Because
Go ahead,
I'm tired
Jane.
of police officers doing shit and thinking it's cool. It's not that serious. It's not that serious.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not even gonna bring it up. I'm not. I was gonna tell you. I was gonna tell you instead of George Floyd, because George Floyd was, in my opinion, way different than this situation. I would have actually mentioned another case, but I'm not even gonna bring that up. I'm gonna wait on what Dad's got to say.
Dad's just saying a bunch of nonsense. Go ahead,
It's not nonsense.
JP.
I'm not telling you not to do your job, but certain situations don't warrant it. Some situations don't, and this was not a situation where it needed to warrant it. Yeah, y'all want to point out, oh, she had all of this, but y'all don't want to say that prior to her even having an attitude, she didn't have an attitude at first. Initially, she did not have no attitude. She said okay, and so did the guy. So they were very much compliant at that time. If he would have said, y'all can't be in the park, y'all need to leave, she said okay, and so did he. So again, where did it need to escalate? Where? At what point? When again, he could have very easily let them go. He didn't have to do that. So miss me with all of that.
Okay, so even if we consider this man,
I help y'all every day, Andre.
That she was with is weak. Let's get away from that first, right? Even if we do think that he's weak, he took the first step to just say, let me sign it. Nothing happened to him. At what point in her mind that she thought, well, maybe I can save us out of this. Let me ask him what his badge number is. Let me ask what his name is. Okay, I get that. Can you sign a ticket? No. At what point? This is one of the things when women say that they're not protected.
Thank you.
That he was on an ego trip, but when your man has led you in a certain direction, follow his lead, because most of the time these are when men tell their sons and their kids before they leave out of the house. They prepare to that, soft or not, somehow in some way that man was trained from his house of how to conduct himself in front of police to make sure he get home safe. So even with that, how in the world did she think she can stand them? Why women think they can save the day? Why?
Listen, because for her.
Hey, good one, JP.
This is
Good stuff, JP.
Don't worry.
But listen, again,
I get us
why
killed.
certain
I
things,
get us both killed.
This is why, again, certain things certain things are not warranted. If his ego had not gotten in the way, that girl would have gotten in her
Keep
car.
going to this ego time.
When does a woman shut the fuck up, Dad?
I want to add to that though.
If this were a situation where she were completely wrong, yes. But in this particular case, we're not talking about every other situation. We're not talking about her fighting the cop, her cursing the cop. She simply just asked that man his name and badge number. Probably because
her numerous of times. The second time
she keep glossing over that.
last time she asked Des, you knew she was being fucking.
Can I add something, y'all?
The first time
she was
being
funny.
The first time she asked him,
last time.
bro, the first time she asked him, She walked off. She was halfway to her car when he even said his badge number.
All right, that's one.
He didn't even dismiss her. He didn't even give her permission. She could have got killed.
Thank you.
And that's very true. But hold up. Did he take out his gun and shoot her?
He could have. That's straight because he didn't know what she was going to that car for.
But again,
he did not know what she was going to that car for. She could have went to go get a gun. He didn't know that. He would have did that. She could have shot him. He would have shot her.
I would have did that. He would have shot him in the back.
Right. And y'all are right. You all are very much right. But did he do it? Did he do it?
It was a woman. Because once again,
he was exercising discretion.
Being bad behavior. We keep allowing women. Because you give a woman
something. Y'all will sit here and justify and say, "Oh, she had a smart mouth." But yet, this woman walked off. When the guy,
how many chances we give women to comply?
Right. They need a million chances. They need a million.
He had the option.
Just see, be in power. But once again, a black man, a man in power, still kept giving that a woman, period, rope. The more rope you give certain women, they hang themselves, and you have failed
but the thing is, you have to ask why. You have to ask why. Why?
He already told her. He already told her, Dad. He actually warned her. And I'm gonna say this too. I want to point.
There was a guy, a Spanish guy. He had
all right.
tattoos.
Hey, Jane, I got you next. All right.
There was a Spanish guy. He had tattoos all over his face. Police knew his car. He had gotten stopped numerous amounts of times, right? For doing nothing wrong. But because this man looked like he could have been trouble, they stopped him. When they stopped him, the police had absolutely no reason to stop him. They said it was a traffic stop, right? They said it was a traffic stop. He says, every day almost, I get pulled over by one of y'all. My insurance is right. I have a valid driver's license.
Okay.
There's
anecdotal stories.
I don't even have a record. And they stop this man damn near every day based off of a look. Police officers are trained to observe people.
It's called risk assessments. There, yes. But anyway.
Okay, exactly. And you don't think that this man did not see that girl was not a problem from the beginning? We're not talking about when she ran her mouth. She ran her mouth after that man allowed his ego to take over when he really did not need it to be. So yes, she was out of pocket trying to argue back, but at the same time, you sitting here trying to create a problem for what?
All right, hold on. Let me let Jane go ahead because she wanted to say something. Go ahead, Jane.
I mean, I think we kind of beating the horse with a stick or whatever. But I just wanted to add one thing because somebody said something and I wanted to address it. She didn't even stick up for them. She tried to stand up for herself. Because if she was sticking up for him or standing up for him, she would have told him not to sign it. Why are you signing it? Don't sign it. No, we ain't signing this. No, he signed it. Like y'all said, she had an opportunity. Now, it's not monkey see, monkey do, but she could have signed it if she wanted to. She didn't want to sign it. She wanted to challenge. She wanted to challenge for her. She wanted to prove something to herself. And just like you said, I mean, it there's neither here nor there if they were in a relationship or whatever, because yeah, he could have told her just sign the paper. I don't know why he didn't. Who cares why he didn't? But at the same time, she brought that on herself. She no time did she say, no, babe, we're not signing this paper. He signed it and then she refused. And then so you take the consequences. Just like you stated. hold on though, Des. Just like you stated before you started talking, you said every reaction has an action, or every action has a reaction. That was her reaction. She earned her reaction. She earned it. I mean, we gotta, as black people, as black people, we act like we can't get shot. We act like these police owe us something. You know what I'm saying? And okay, when it's time to stand up for justice, when the actual wrong people get shot, okay. But clearly he gave you instructions. Not only did you disobey once, you did three times, whatever. He gave you the badge number. You walked away, you turned your back. He didn't know what you was going to the car for. He could have used that real ego, and he could have said, ma'am, what are you doing? Where are you going? Boom, 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 boom.
So he only used his ego when it was convenient for him.
No, I'm trying to get you to understand that it wasn't all the way his ego. She did not ask him to go to that car. His ego could have took out that gun, and it actually would have been justified.
Guess what?
It would have been justified.
His ego didn't get him to pull out that gun. His ego, and this is why I'm saying.
Do you not understand that would have been another dead black woman for no reason?
I'm saying he was in his ego because the fact that he let that girl walk to her car. He didn't have
to. That was the friend in him at that point. He didn't have to.
But he didn't try to stop her, nor did he take out his gun and shoot her. When
it was sudden. She walked away so fast. She could have got shot.
But she didn't. Just like
when he told so you're not supposed to take any calculated risk.
He just finally got sick of her shit, bro.
Thank you. Hold on, real quick, Des. Let me say this. Everybody in the chat right now. Everybody in the chat. I need y'all all to make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button right now.
This is really crazy to me.
And hit the like and share and all this stuff, y'all, so we can expand this and get more people in the chat. So make sure if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button right now. Thank you. Sorry. Go ahead, Des.
This is what let me show you this. Let me to try to get you to understand what I'm saying. Again, y'all have y'all.
I understand what you're saying. I understand 100% what you're saying.
That the girl wasn't wrong. However, again, the attitude would not have even been present had he let it go. But let me show you this. Hold on. Oh wait, let me take. I got.
Hold up. Somebody asked me to post something for you, Des. Hold on. Let me. Hold up. Let me post this for you. Hold up. Okay, she said, once again, sugar, when you begin yelling, people have a tendency to stop listening. Stay calm, honey, and prove your point.
Y'all more than welcome to lead a chat. That's fine.
Des is going hard.
That's fine. Listen, I ain't the police. I ain't making you stay. You don't want to listen. Bye. And
hey,
that's not
stop the cap.
It's not. I'm just simply, again, I feel how I feel just like everybody else in the chat. Y'all don't really like how I respond. You don't got to stay. I'm not making you sign a citation, not going to jail. So.
Ooh, damn. She just.
I just said I'm not trying to disrespect or offend anybody, but again, this is one of those situations.
She said this ain't for the faint of heart, y'all.
Show us what you got, Dad. Show us what you got. What you got?
For what? This ain't gonna substantiate her nonsensical argument.
Let her show it.
Hold on.
What's your reaction?
What you laughing at, JP?
Let me ask y'all a question. Let's make this go viral. Let's say a dude hitting you from the back, and when you turn around and look, he like this. What's your reaction? Let me know down in the comments. Share this to some of y'all friends so we can make this go viral.
I don't get
what
it.
Does that have anything to do with this, Dad?
No,
I'm about to tell you. I made a comment. My comment on this literally said he was acting as Freeze from Mortal Kombat. That's what I put. He was acting as Freeze from Mortal Kombat.
Sub-Zero.
And that,
I'm so lost. That went over my head. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. What are y'all?
Jane,
What does that mean, Des?
I'm lost with you too, Jane.
Bro,
What does that mean? Wait, Des, what does Sub-Zero mean? What is that? Or whatever.
bro, in Mortal
Let her
Kombat, there's a
finish.
character in Mortal Kombat
Let her finish.
called Sub-Zero. And what he does, his immortal power is to freeze people. So he does this maneuver and he freezes people in the movie. It's a movie, Mortal Kombat. So anyway, he goes and he freezes people. That's his.
I was reading the comments. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So I can't tell you after I made that comment how many dudes hopped in my comments trying to curse me out, call me out, disrespect me simply because I called that man Freeze. Simply because I called that man Freeze. It was an open chat. Anybody, the guy even said, make the comment. It wasn't nothing but dudes coming at me sideways, mad. I'm talking about disrespecting me because I called this man Freeze.
What's the point?
The point I'm trying to make is that I oftentimes see men, especially ones in a
here
position
she
of
go.
power, who are oversensitive and they abuse their power.
She coming at us again,
Abuse
Jane.
power don't mean you don't have it. But again, let me
I get the same heat
reiterate.
saying men are not the enemy, Des. I get the same heat. I get the same
In
heat.
this case, that man was the enemy because instead of you, not from a legal standpoint, but damn, from just come on. You sitting here telling me after you told us that we couldn't be here, you're telling me you did not have to arrest us and you couldn't just let us go with a warning? Instead, mind you, my attitude is not here yet. My attitude hasn't even been created. You're telling me that as an officer of the law, you see us, we're not disrespecting you. We understand based off of what you said that, hey, look, we're not from here. We didn't see the signs or whatever. We can get in our car and go. You're telling me as an officer of the law that you could not simply just say, y'all need to get out of here, get in your car. You couldn't do that? And like I said, all of y'all in the comments is talking all of this, but the reality is, if you're in the same position, y'all gonna sign the ticket, of course. Of course.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Y'all also gonna question the shit too.
All right, let me say this real quick. So everybody in the chat, listen, this is a free speech zone. Everybody's entitled to say whatever they want. Now, y'all may disagree with Dez's point, but she gets fair opportunity, just like I do, and JP as well as Jane, to stay her piece. Look, some of y'all may consider what she's doing is yelling and coming off whatever, but we're just having a conversation. JP, I'm not bothered by the way Miss Des expresses her point. I don't think any of y'all are, but I'm just letting the chat know, what I'm saying, y'all, she's right. If y'all feel like it's a little overwhelming, a little too much, y'all do have the right to leave and listen to something a little bit, but I gotta support the panelists, y'all. She has the right to stay her position, even though I may vehemently disagree with it. But I just want to let that be known. I'm not simping, JP. I want to just set the record straight. But go ahead.
Hey, because if I would have did it by defending her, you would have called me a simp.
You damn right. I
defend her all the time, and you called me a simp. So
well, I'm just making it.
I'm glad to see you doing my job. Then fine.
Shut the fuck, man. You go see. I told you I wasn't cussing today. You about to push me there again.
Hey, man.
All right. So it sounds like we I don't know. It sounds like we are on opposite sides of the fence of this one, Miss Des. So no, we are, because I think let me just make sure I got it clear. So your position is that this officer should have used a little bit more discretion, should have not have escalated this. You believe the officer escalated this issue, right?
Yes.
You believe that it should have been him, since he has the authority, should have just taken the more, I don't know, diplomatic route and just let him off with a warning. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And Miss Jane, what's your position? I just want to make sure everybody clear.
She earned that shit. She earned she got an Academy Award for the act that she put on. She read the script and she got that award. But I do understand what Des is saying too, but I can understand if the park was still open, then baby girl, you got every right to move. But yeah, you earned it was too much. You could have got yourself killed, and then we would have been on the news. Then you would have been on the news, and then all the black people, like what they do, not all of them, but a lot of them would have said, "Oh, the cop didn't. Why the cop did that? They ain't had to do that to my girl." I mean, no, we have to take accountability for our action. I was scared for her. I was scared for her. I thought she was gonna get shot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that, Jane. Look at that, me and Miss Jane. Me and you agree tonight, girl. Ain't that beautiful?
Men are not the enemy, man. Y'all sleep on me. Y'all and I'm not talking about the guys on the panel. I'm talking about everybody in the comments. Y'all really don't even know what I stand for. This is just a slice. Y'all are only getting a slice on his platform. On my platform, it makes sense. But I'm glad I'm back, and I'm glad I said I'm glad I'm motherfucking back. What you mean?
Stop the cap.
All right, JP, what's your position, man?
Hey, man, just like I told Jane earlier, man, we spank for bad behavior, bro. That's what we do, man. That's just what it did. We can't champion bad behavior, bro. We can't. I mean, at the end of the day, I swear, I'm usually on this side, man. But that's ridiculous.
But see, it's not about.
Yeah, you off on this one, Des.
It's not about taking. Listen, I don't know
because what you are signaling to the black community is that as long as you feel violated, you can act however you want. And my thing is, that's what you're saying. Yes, it is. People will take from this message that if the officer violates you and you feel like he's violates you, you are justified in however you respond.
And how dare you not take my feelings into consideration as an officer?
Thank you.
What I'm saying is simply, okay, again, I don't know why you all keep trying to act like if this were not you would not, and it's not even about feeling. It's literally principle.
I would never put myself in a position like that.
Des, I would never do that, Des. I would never do that.
Every time you've been pulled over by the police.
Every time. Yes. Every single time. Every single time. Either I had bad insurance, my tags was expired. It was a reason why they pulled me over. It is a reason why they pull you over. We just knew. We somehow negate that.
Did they make you sign a ticket every time you've been?
Not every time, because I handle myself.
No.
I conduct myself reasonably.
This is what you all are failing to realize. They were compliant. They both
up until the point they weren't, though. Up until the point they were not. Well, she wasn't. The guy was compliant.
The police officer got a little bit more egotistical and pushed the issue. Again, I'm not saying that the girl talking her shit was right. I'm not saying that. However, still, again, they both agreed that they would leave. They agreed. And again, instead of the officer just doing due diligence, he didn't.
But you know good and well you wouldn't have taken it there.
I wouldn't have taken it there, and you're right. And I don't think that's what we're getting at, though.
That's what we're getting at. You wouldn't have taken it because you know the result. But what you doing is, I get what you're saying. Because that shit not you, because of how it ended, it shit. You feel sorry for it because it shouldn't have gotten that. But you know good and well, if you put yourself in that position, you know you wouldn't do that. So you have to look at her and say, girl, why the fuck would you do that? You giving her okay because of what the result was, but knowing good and well you wouldn't have done that, Des. And I think That's what we're all saying, though.
And I sat here 1,000 times, like somebody in the comments had to say. I said that 1,000 times. But again, my point is, just like I said in the first live that we got on, it starts somewhere. It starts somewhere. And this is the issue that we have with the police. This is why the issues that happen with
non-compliance.
No, this is why so many of these
We have a general lack of respect for authority in the Black community. Let's just be honest.
We do, but that's not why.
That's exactly why parents do not train their children or condition their children to respect law enforcement. We parents our age, we all have the same. Hold up. Okay, well, okay. I'm speaking to the general, Jane. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking generally. Generally speaking, Black people, Black parents do not condition their children or train them to respect law enforcement. They have the same cynical attitude. The parents have the same cynical attitude towards authority as these children that we see today. All they're doing is emulating what they see.
You know why? You know why? Because we tired. We tired.
Oh my gosh.
Because we tired, and it is. How many literally, how many situations have we seen where Black people are literally getting antagonized by the police?
I just gave you the stats on that.
Situations and several scenarios. And again,
I don't get antagonized, Des. Me, law-abiding citizens do not get antagonized.
The officer literally had the power. The girl nor the guy had the power. And again, I'm not saying it was right for her, but at the end of the day, her reaction was only a cause for his reaction. Had him as a police officer would have valued the situation a lot better, because he's a person too. He's a person too. And just because he didn't raise his voice or whatever the case was, don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. Y'all, listen, at the end of the day, none of y'all would have put yourselves in that situation. But apparently, again, it wasn't necessary. This is simply an egotistical man.
This is crazy.
Taking his job way too far when it wasn't necessary.
And you know, if you want to be honest here,
it wasn't necessary.
But if you want to be honest here, Des, if we want to be honest here, let's be honest. Your whole entire argument is rooted in your animus towards men.
What?
Yes, you've been trying to make this about an issue of men since. All this what you're saying right now is just a facade. It's just a veneer to try to cover up what the real true issue is that you have, and it's that men misuse their authority because they're ego driven. That's the crux of what you're trying to say. Thank you. That's what you're really trying to say.
It's a statistic fact.
That's what you're trying to say. Is that true, Jane? Is that true, Jane?
By aggression. That is in a man's nature to be aggressive and chaotic.
See there? It's always about men. The fault lies at the feet of men always. All right, got it.
When y'all start with me, guess what? I lash back at y'all. No, I'm not getting arrested, but
You know what, Des? Let me ask you a question. So do you think, and I don't even know how much longer we're going to go on this topic, but
we're about to close it down.
Do you think, Des, okay, did you catch when the officer told her to come here the first time and she didn't? Do you think that's because she didn't hear him, or you think that's because she was trying to play like she didn't hear him?
What part?
Did you catch that when the officer originally told her to come here, she didn't move? And then he said it again. He said, "Ma'am, can you please come here?" Did you? I don't know if you probably didn't catch that, but I feel like
I didn't catch.
I feel like her energy. I feel like the energy was, and to answer the actual question, I forgot because you don't have it posted. I can't see it. Does Black people do we hate police officers? I hate police officers. I don't like police officers, but I mean, I'm gonna respect them because I ain't trying to get shot for no damn stupid ass reason. But do I hate them? Absolutely. That's why I do everything. I make sure my tags is right. I make sure I pay my goddamn insurance. I make sure I got my goddamn seatbelt on. I make sure I goddamn stop at the goddamn stop sign. I make sure I don't do anything. Now I know I'm familiar with Black Panther up here. I kind of got a feel of who she is, and that's cool. And she would say, but I can still be a victim of the police, which is true. We can do everything right and still become a victim because of the color of our skin. But I'm gonna wake up and go to sleep at night knowing that at least I'm trying to not be a target versus doing everything right and still being a target. I mean, if I'm gonna be a target, I'm gonna be a target that is on my shit. No, it's not a lie. That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oops.
So, like I said, I don't listen. Y'all just not gonna agree with me because, like I said, the police
you off
officer is
tonight.
a person. And again, when you give certain people a level of authority, just like men, when you give men a level of authority, they abuse it in ways that are unnecessary. And that's exactly what happened.
And what about women?
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that, but I'm not going
to. Neil, I
use
said
something else, Des.
I said it.
This is all rooted in your anti-man ideology. This is what this all rooted in.
Right.
Well, hey, I'm glad you're honest. I'm glad you're honest. But this is called confirmation bias. So whatever that
he had absolutely no issue letting her walk away from him.
But this is called confirmation bias. So no matter what this man could have done,
allowing her to
but listen, Des,
that man knows that girl was not no threat. That girl wasn't no threat. And if he thought, as a police officer, diligently, if he thought that girl was any type of threat, he would have drew his gun the moment she turned her back and walked away. He knew that girl was not no threat. She could have walked to that car, like y'all said, and grabbed a gun. But he let her. He didn't draw his gun when he could have. Just like he could have let them leave, but he didn't. So again, it's where do you draw the line? Because had he would have pulled his gun, my argument would be totally different. My argument would be totally different because it was a matter of ego and convenience.
All right, well,
convenience.
All right, well, like I said, we're
sitting there arguing with him. He decided, her talking smart to me. Mind you, she didn't curse at him. She didn't put her hands on him. She got a little rough with her words. That was enough. Her words were enough to get you that rattled up. But this girl walking away from you to her car where you don't know if she's going to grab a gun or not, go to her car, then proceed to turn around and walk back towards you, didn't warrant. Come on. Right. That's nothing but ego.
We all looking at you crazy.
Go to the side. That girl wouldn't have given him no attitude. She wouldn't have given him no attitude. Right, she respected that man. She respected him and his position. She never disrespected him. But it's okay for him because he's in a position of power to be ego-driven, to make a situation escalate more than it needs.
She gonna hang her hat up on that one.
Because his attitude came before hers. His nasty ass ego came before hers.
That's not what we saw, Des. That's not what we saw.
Up on that other man because he knew that man was weak, and he played on that man. He tried to show that man what his authority really was.
All right, well, listen.
So we can see that.
All right, so looks like we've reached another stalemate. We was that close. Close to agreeing. We were that close to agreeing with each other. We got so close. I actually, to be honestly, Jane, no offense, but I actually thought you were going to be the opposition tonight. But hey, look, like I said,
this real quick. What if he were not a cop? But
what do you mean?
What if he were not a cop, but a Karen?
What you mean? What do you mean? A Karen?
What if
a white lady?
What if instead of that police officer being a police officer, he was a Karen? Would you have handled it the same way? Do you think she would have handled the situation the same way?
As in a white man, are you saying, or a white woman? What are you saying?
I said a Karen. A Karen could be anybody, but they got nasty attitudes from jump.
I mean, if he was a listen, I don't think this is a false equivalency because we're talking about a police officer in the line of doing his job, just patrolling the area, happens to see a couple out in the park, goes to inform them that hey, this is after hours, y'all have to leave.
Police officer is literally overdoing his job. Just sit there and take it.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you right now. This is. I'm telling you right now. This is a very deleterious message to pervade to the black community that we should not respect authority.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't respect authority.
This is listen. When you mention words,
until authority did not respect her.
Des. Okay, in the face, like I said, that is not where the battle is. That is not where the battle begins for the citizen. If you are in that, have that particular interaction, you handle that in a courtroom.
That's
what are you gonna do? Fight the officer? If he is a bad cop, if he's a bad apple, if the cop is a bad apple, then obviously his actions are gonna further escalate and it's gonna exacerbate the situation even worse. So why not just exclude yourself from that situation, take the ticket, and fight it in court?
Why he didn't just let them go?
Oh my God, he's not gonna go it's not gonna go your way every time.
If we're not talking about every time, we're talking about this time. Why didn't he let them go?
You know why, Des? You know why? That's why I said. That's why I mentioned the whole park. That's why I asked y'all who actually been in Atlanta. You know why? Unfortunately, that probably was the day when he done saw too much bullshit. That probably was the day that all the goddamn hoodlings and all the little, it was nighttime. He probably did his shift. And unfortunately, he said, you know what? I'm going to go out tonight doing my goddamn job. And then sadly, they were the ones
that he didn't do his job prior to that. That's not nobody's fault. That's not nobody's fault.
I was trying to shed light, but never mind, Dad. Never mind. I'm gonna go on mute, Dad. I'm gonna go on mute.
That's fine. But again, like I said, I looked at it and I told y'all this from the time I got on here. I looked at it two ways. She was very wrong from a legal standpoint. Yes, she was. But again, also the police officer,
from a moral standpoint, she was wrong.
She was wrong. I said that starting off.
Well, not just from a legal, but from a moral standpoint as well.
A moral standpoint, no, because from a moral standpoint, it's like, damn, why are you literally doing something that you know you don't have to do? Why do you came over here, you did your job, you literally could have let us go. You could have let us go. Why didn't he let them go? She said, okay, she didn't give that man attitude at first, and neither did the guy. Neither one of them gave attitude. Now, if it were a situation where she was like, oh, well, why you, she didn't do that. The guy said something to both of them. They both said, okay, and was about to go. They was both about to go. That's what y'all missing. Y'all keep acting like she just popped off with the attitude. Shorty did not pop off with the attitude. He pushed the issue, and I'm not saying that it's right on her end, but why he didn't just let them go?
Honestly, I think the attitude. I mean, listen, I think you are well within your rights.
Why didn't he just let them go?
I think that you are well within your rights to request the officer's name and badge number, but I just think that was just kind of frivolous. It was just kind of it was not necessary because they were in the wrong. They were in the park after closing hours.
The girl nor the guy argued with him at first. It wasn't until the officer pushed the issue. The girl told him okay, and so did the guy. There was no attitude. There was no problem. There was no pushback. There was none of that. That lady did not pop off at him initially, and neither did the guy. So again, I get what y'all talking about. I get it. But again, it's like police keep doing shit to fuck with people unnecessarily, and you think people at this point giving a fuck about a pushback to the police? People was out here fighting the police. They breaking police officers' cars. They throwing firebombs at police departments.
Because they retarded.
Nah, because they tired of the police shit. They tired of the police shit. And I think a lot of us are.
God.
You have to over exaggerate situations to get people to see the truth. The police officer first could have handled that situation a whole lot better. But like in every other situation, oh, you can fuck with me whatever way you want just because you the police. No.
All right, well, anyways, all right. So I guess, like I said, there's we're not gonna reach any agreement tonight. But I think that we came damn near close. Everybody in the chat, guys, make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we're gonna come back with some more pretty controversial topics. I think these look, like I said before, these conversations that we're having, although they may get a little fiery at times, they need to be had. And again, just because we may not agree with Miss Des, she has a right to state her position. You know, even though it is absolutely asinine and patently false, but you know, she get the right to say what she got to say. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate every last one of y'all for standing in there with us. Des, you want to shout out how they can find you, Jane, and then JP?
Yes, y'all can find me on dezidc on Instagram, Desiree AC on Facebook, and Flicking on My Bick on YouTube.
Go ahead, Jane. Shout out, plug your socials.
Men are not the enemy. Men are not the enemy. Men are not the enemy. You could Men are not the enemy on YouTube. I know. Shouts out to Lee. I saw the comment. Just you follow me. I'm working on my YouTube. My predominant platform is TikTok, which is she is Jane. I do have a podcast, but all that stuff is in my bio on the link in either my IG or my TikTok. So TikTok, she is Jane. IG, Men are not the enemy.
Appreciate that. JP.
FWM _podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Hey, follow me. Hey, I appreciate everybody, but follow me, everybody who listen to the content. Continue to come fuck with us, man. For real.
All right, 1,000.
The chat's been going up lately on the
yeah. Hey, listen, chat. I appreciate y'all.
You gotta give props to Dez, man. Dez keeping it moving, man. That's what's up.
Hey, yeah.
I think
got to get up
everybody want to be heard. That's all. Everybody, whether it's me, whether it's the panel, whether it's the people in the comments, everybody in the comments. Like I love people. Everybody in the comments. Everybody in the comments brings me a sense of just bliss. Just know that.
Stop the cap.
All right.
In the comments, I love the panel. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all night too.
Stop the cap.
All right, y'all. I appreciate it.
It's all love over here.
All right, y'all. We're gonna be back either this Thursday or Friday. We're gonna still work out all the work that out in the back chat. But we'll see y'all then. Stay tuned. I appreciate y'all. This is the real unwoke, not the fake unwoke. Y'all already know.